So many visitors, so little time.
Whoa there! Are you all right? The name's Lyris. I hope you've still got some fight left in you. You're going to need it. Dead. Must have been the runt of the litter. Keep your weapon ready and stay sharp. This place is full of surprises. Keep moving. There are more Daedra on the way.
Don't stop now. Keep moving. More guards are on the way.
Let's get out of here, my friend. The Prophet.
Greetings, resident. Like you, I'm a prisoner in this place. You must rescue me, and I, in turn, must rescue you.
Hold a moment. Come here. We need to talk. The Prophet. He's a prisoner here too. It was very dangerous for him to speak to you, even for a moment. You must think you can help me. Break him out, of course. Believe me, I can use all the help I can get. That blind old man is the only person alive who can help us get back home. Tamriel's a long way from here. These tunnels will eventually take us to the Towers of Eyes. That's where we'll find the Sentinels. Magical constructs created by Molag Bal to guide his vision in Coldharbour. The Sentinels are connected. If we destroy one, the others will be blinded. With any luck, that will buy us the time we need to free the Prophet. I've no idea. Brute force? We'll find a way. We have to. Be ready for anything. I doubt Molag Bal left the Sentinels unguarded. I'm sure you do, and I'll answer them as best I can. He's a strange one, no doubt about it. But he's the wisest man I've ever met. He sees things. The past, the future. You're obviously not in Tamriel anymore. Think of the most miserable, depressing place you've ever been in your life. That's paradise compared to Coldharbour. And to top it off, well, there's no easy way to say it. You're dead. I don't know. Once we rescue the Prophet, he can tell you about the gods and the ways of Oblivion. I don't understand any of it myself. A man named Menemarco. His worm cult is doing some kind of ritual back in Tamriel. They sacrificed you and everyone in this prison to the Daedric Prince Molag Bal. After you died, whatever was left showed up here. They call you the Soul Shriven. It means you're a slave and you'll spend the rest of eternity here in Coldharbour, working under the lash of the Daedra. Unless, of course, you come with me. No, I wasn't sacrificed. The Prophet and I were brought here conventionally, if that makes any sense. But we're prisoners here, same as you. It won't be easy. The place is watched by magical constructs called Sentinels. We won't stand a chance unless we can blind them. I'll tell you more when we get there. And we'll never get there if we don't get moving. We should keep moving. Well played, friend. Arcase Beard, you are good in a fight.
A god of brutality knows of your escape. Hurry!
The god of schemes can see every part of Coldharbour. We need to distract him. What was your name again? Target practice? Try to be inconspicuous. We just got free of this place. The last thing we need is to get recaptured. I'll keep watch. Quickly! While he's blinded, we must get to the Prophet's cell.
Fool! You will never escape my realm.
Hermamora's wagging tongue. The door's warded. We'll never get in this way. Damn it! Destroying the Sentinel must have triggered these wards. We'll need to find another way in. Maybe Cadwell can help us. Cadwell is the oldest of the Soul Shriven. After years of torment, Soul Shriven usually go insane and turn feral. But not Cadwell. He was already insane before he left Tamriel. Mad as a box of frogs, but completely harmless. You'll see. Cadwell sees things as he wishes them to be. To him, Coldharbour is a wondrous place. It's his home. And he knows it like the back of his hand. He's usually down by the river. Let's go find him.
One fine day in the middle of the night, two dead kings got up to fight. Back to back they faced each other, drew their bows, and stabbed themselves. Hello, what's this? Out for a stroll then? Lovely day for it. Sir Cadwell, yes indeed, a pleasure. And fair Lyris, good to see you, my dear. How are you then? Oh dear, well that is inconvenient, isn't it? Tell you what, I happen to know another way in. Much more of a scenic route. Rather a fun little jaunt, actually, full of traps and corpses and nasty beasties filling up the bits in between. Rather cautiously, I expect. Watch your step, hold your nose, and do mind the traps. There'll like as not be a fair dose of running and skull-bashing as well. Follow the river. You'll find the door to the Undercroft at the water's end. Once you're inside, stick to the light, and you'll find a ladder that will take you right up to the Prophet straight away. Do give him my best. Best of luck. Do check in now and again, won't you? Well, there's not much to tell, is there? It's the same old pish-tosh, gallant knight, epic quests, rescued maidens. I came to this land when my head was quite unceremoniously separated from my body. Bad luck, that, but you make the best of things. Oh, quite a long time. In fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if I was the oldest of the soul Shriven. Of those who didn't go feral, that is. I know every tunnel and path, every nook and cranny. The others look up to me, I suppose. Ah, Lyris. Girl's as mad as sheer Gorus jammies. Heart's in the right place, I suppose. Says she's got to rescue the Prophet to save us all from eternal torment. How an old blind man could do that is quite beyond me. An imperial gentleman. Apparently he was once a powerful mage, but the years haven't been kind. Lyris says he knows of a path back to Tamriel. I rather think that if one existed, I'd have found it by now. I hadn't actually given it much thought. Anything's possible, I suppose. Truth is, I've been here so long, this place feels like home. But a good uprising now and again is a pleasant diversion, so where's the harm, eh?
Cadwell seems to think this Undercroft is a delightful place. It probably means it's a death trap. We'd better be careful. The sooner you get that door open, the sooner we can get out of here. Come get some more, you skeeving hawkers! Taught that one to fight. The god of self-punishment? The Prophet's cage should be just ahead. Quickly now, we haven't much time. All right. The good news is we made it here in one piece, and the Prophet looks unharmed. Now the bad news. It's going to be up to you to keep him safe and get him back to Tamriel. I'm not going with you. There's a trick to opening the cell. The only way for a prisoner to leave is for another living soul to take their place. I need to swap places with the Prophet. Believe me, I wish there was, but I don't see anyone else here with a beating heart, do you? If Molag Bal isn't stopped, he'll destroy everyone and everything we've ever loved. Once it's done, get moving. The Prophet will know where to go, but he'll need your eyes and your protection.
Freedom! I remember this feeling. It will be fleeting, though, if Molag Bal has his way. Thank the Divines you are safe. There is that, at least. There sacrificed everything that we might go free. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. I wish that were possible, but I promise you, once we escape Coldharbour, we will find a way to rescue her together, Vestige. That is the name I have given you. You are but a trace of your former self, a soulless one, an empty vessel that longs to be filled. It is as the scrolls foretold, but not exactly as I imagined. That is what I've come to be called. My true name is lost even to me. Years of torment have taken their toll. Quickly now, we must make haste to the anchor. The anchors are Daedric machines of the darkest magic. Their chains bind our world and pull it towards Coldharbour. I can use one of these anchors to return us to Tamriel, but you must lead me to it. Up the stairs, quickly! We must get to the anchor mooring! There it is! The dark anchor mooring.
The mortal thinks it can defy me. Futile. Soon your world will be in my chains.
Come! I will protect you! A moment, Vestige. The Dark Anchor's portal is high above us. I will prepare a spell to lift us to it. But first, you must reattune yourself to Nirn in order to regain your physical form. To do this, you will need a skyshard. A shard of ethereal magicka that carries the essence of Nirn. Some link them to Lorcan, the missing god of creation. If you collect and absorb its power, it should restore your corporeal form. I will summon one of these shards for you to absorb. Shard of Aetherius, fall upon us now and anoint us with your blessing. There, quickly! Collect the Sky Shard. Great Akatosh, dragon god of time, I require your strength. Let the way be opened. Let these wandering souls return home. Let the will of Molag Bal be denied. Hurry! We must go now! The vestige awakens once again. Come here. We must speak. As I feared, we arrived in different locations. I am in a city near the sea, in a land of eternal spring. The air smells of the ocean and of markets and gardens. It matters not. You have awakened once again, and we must set you on your path. Days, weeks, I cannot tell. The voids between worlds disrupted all sense of time and space. I know only that you were deposited into the sea, and some charitable soul fished you out and brought you to dry land. I'm afraid you will have to decide that for yourself. I must focus on searching for a way to repay Lyris's bold sacrifice. I cannot simply abandon her to the wrath of Molag Bal. I cannot foresee that, not yet. But we will meet again. There is still much we need to accomplish. Be wary, Vestige. Our very plane of existence is in peril. The threat of Molag Bal looms across all Tamriel, and chaos spreads in its shadow. Danger roams the land and will assume many forms. Do not let it catch you off guard. You must find your own path, but perhaps there is a reason for the place in which you find yourself. Explore, search for a cause to lend your hand. Join with others. You might even seek out those who rescued you from the sea. The choice is yours. Indeed, I sense that even now, there are good people near you who face grave danger. They need your assistance, should you be willing to give it. To thwart the will of Molag Bal, we must skirmish with evil wherever it rears its head. We do not face these troubled times alone. Many shall rise up to fight this tide of darkness. Wherever you go, you will encounter others who share your courage and valor. Help them if you can, and enlist their aid if you have need of it.
Get away from me, stupid thing! Is it gone? Steer clear of Tor Drayok, stranger. Those strange moats are everywhere. I saw one of them turn a cow into a person. I'm getting out of here before one of them gets me. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a farm animal. I don't know. I was just trying to cut through the area around the old wizard's tower there when I spotted those strange moats. It was chaos. Unnatural things started happening, and then one of the moats started chasing me. No, not that I've ever seen. And I take that shortcut almost every day. The Magister who lives there and his Khajiit assistant, Ember, are nice enough. I hope they're all right. But I'm not crazy enough to go back. You look brave. Maybe you could?
Get back here, you stupid thing! Watch yourself, stranger. There's some errant magic out here. I hope
hope you don't mind me saying so, but you look like someone who's good at cleaning up messes. I've got a big one for you, if you're up for it. I'd pay you for your time, but I need someone quick on their feet. This mess is turning into a crisis. I was experimenting with a spell while my mentor, Magister Iren, was away, but the magic went awry. If it doesn't get dealt with, it's going to spread beyond this area and harm a bunch of innocent people. I can't fix it on my own, so I need help. I need to develop a counterspell, but first their protective wards around the area need to be restored by someone other than myself, so I don't taint the magic. That's where you come in. Like I said, if you help, I can pay. Hold still. You'll need this unless you want to spend the next few hours as a sheep. Not as glamorous as it sounds. And here, take these crystals. You'll need them to restore the wards. The first one is in the meadow just up the hill to the north. Mostly they serve to keep errant magic inside Tordriak's boundaries. You know, the standard 3 points of protection thing. Unfortunately, my spell kicked those wards in the teeth. They're not protecting anything now. The spell I created has my magical mark on it, if that makes sense. There are certain types of magic that can be affected by their creator, intentionally or not. Messing with forces already attuned to you can have unpredictable results. Exactly. Magic is powerful and great and all that, but it can be pretty sensitive. Fussy, Magister Iren likes to say. And since my spell is already wreaking havoc across Tordriak, I'd rather not take any unnecessary risks while fixing it. The name's Ember. Well, technically it's a nickname, but it's all I use. I'm Magister Iren's apprentice. I think he regrets taking me on sometimes, but he's got a big heart. He saw that I had no formal training and told me to come here to learn. This is Tordriak. There's a big wizard's tower, you can't miss it. I've been living there with Magister Iren, plus a few people who keep up the grounds and the tower itself. All of whom have been affected by my spell, I'd guess. Here we are. I'm going to cast a little purifying spell while you place the crystals so nothing disturbs us. Let's do this quick. That's one ward restored. Let's go fix the next one. It's in the glade just west of here. I really should have paid more attention to Magister Iren when he was explaining how these protective wards work. I should have paid more attention to him in general, actually. The next one is in the glade. It's just across the way to the west. Unfortunately, no. The wards are just to keep the unstable magic inside the bounds of Tordriak. That way, I can work on a counterspell without worrying about the original spell spreading. Magister Iren made sure I knew what they were and what purpose they served as soon as he took me on as an apprentice. He wanted me to be familiar with as much of Tordriak as possible, or at least the parts that keep it safe. Here we are. I'll make sure nothing gets in our way while you place the warding crystal. Oh, you're a natural. Maybe you should have been Magister Iren's apprentice. The last ward is south of here, inside a cave. This is the last one. Let's get this over with quick. Place the warding crystal. That's all the wards. Let's talk outside. I need to figure out what to do next. Ugh, stupid moats! I know my rogue spell is to blame for most of the weirdness happening around Tordreok, but it almost seems like these damned moats are becoming dangerous. They're doing more than just mischievous magic. Ugh, fish biscuits. I need to figure this out. I'm not sure. The moats aren't new. They're always hanging around Tordreok. I think they're drawn to places like this. But there was nothing in my spell that should have made them act malevolent. And there are a lot more around than usual. Yes, I can make traps to contain them, but I'm still worried about their behavior. While I work on the traps, could you head into the tower and look to Magister Iren's things? He might have a book with more information about the modes. See if you can find anything in the tower about the modes. I'll meet you there and start on the traps.
This is ridiculous. I knew Magister Iren should never have taken in a mangy cat like you.
Relax, Huldressa. I'm working on it.
You better work fast, because when Magister Iren... What the... Oh!
All right. That was a little funny. I forgot to put an enchantment on Huldressa to protect her from the magic. Oh, don't look at me like that. It wasn't on purpose. Oh, these motes are becoming a real knot in my tail. I'll work on these traps while you rifle through Magister Iren's things. One of those motes got to her. Thankfully, it was just one of the mischievous ones. It turned her into a guar. Don't worry, it's just an illusion. She'll be disoriented but unharmed. In fact, I think some time as a reptile might be good for her. To be fair, she didn't like me first. When Magister Iren took me in, Huldressa didn't waste any time deciding I was a no-good street urchin who's too impulsive for her own good. She's not entirely wrong, but she never even gave me a chance. Magister Iren knows what he signed up for. Taking me on, I'll admit it's no small feat. But he's never judged me for being the way I am, which is why I don't want to disappoint him by ruining his tower with unhinged magic. He does a lot for me. I think so. I'm using a variation of something I was already working on. I enchanted a bit of silver for each of them. It's simple. When a mote gets near one of the traps, it should suck it up like... The original idea was an olive branch for Huldressa, a spell that cleans up dust. My magicka practice kicks up a lot of the stuff, so I wanted to make something that would help her out a bit. I'll make the traps using the same design. I forgot. I'll get to work on the traps for the motes. Good thoughts only. You in here? Did you find anything useful about the motes? I finished the traps. Once we set them up, they should take care of the motes. Then I can sort out the livestock in Huldressa, and at some point create a counterspell to fix everything for good. Did you learn anything useful? Oh, I read that one, with the wind sorrow lady, right? Oh, what if my spell disturbed her and that's why the motes are acting up? That's troubling, and also a problem for future Ember. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Or two things, actually. The traps are finished, but the livestock and Huldressa are still a problem. I want to figure out a way to return them all to their natural forms before the illusion does any damage. Could you set the traps while I do that? Here, I'll mark some places to set the traps. They're in a pack by the work tables outside. While you do that, I'll figure out how to fix the livestock and Huldressa. Then I can work on my counterspell. Meet me by the livestock pens when you're done. Good luck setting up the traps. I'll meet you by the livestock pens when you're finished. All right, let's get you two back to your regular chicken selves. Ha! I knew it would work. Run along, ladies. You're back! The traps worked, didn't they? See? I told you I know what I'm doing. Mostly. Speaking of which, I think I figured out a way to return the livestock to their original forms. I made something. I know it looks like a spoon, but, well, technically it is a spoon, but I enchanted it. And I call it the Spoon of Undo. I just tested it on those chickens. It removes the illusions perfectly. Normally I wouldn't bother, but illusions can be disorienting and cause terrible headaches. I don't want any of the animals suffering while I come up with my counterspell. Oh, and Huldressa. I suppose I don't really want her suffering either. Here, take the Spoon of Undo. If you could run around and fix the livestock and Huldressa, that will give me a chance to finally whip up this counterspell. By the time you're finished, I'm sure I'll have something figured out. Just look around for people making animal noises. I'm sure they won't be hard to find. And tell them I'm sorry when you change them back, would you? As for Huldressa, I'm all in favor of leaving her as a guar. Just kidding. Kind of. It sounds cute when you say it. It's a pretty simple reversing enchantment. It should counteract the magic from the motes and dispel the illusion. Basic stuff, not even I can mess up. Well, they're still animals. They might run around a bit, but I doubt they'll make it too difficult for you. They're not exactly geniuses. Personally, if I was a sheep and got turned into a human, I think I'd go off on an adventure. I wasn't trying to turn animals into people, I swear. I had a theory about animating the inanimate. One of Magister Irin's texts gave me the idea. That's probably why he locks so many of his books away, now that I think about it. Well, I'm hoping to avoid that scenario. But if it does happen, I'm not sure. He's an odd one. I'm too old for him to punish, and he's not really the type to dole out discipline anyway. I think he'd be disappointed, which is so much worse. I'll be in the tower working on the counterspell. Come find me when you're done.
Was I just a guar? This is all Ember's fault. Oh, I feel strange. It was quite unpleasant. Thank you for saving me. I know I'm nothing to gawk at, but I prefer to look like this instead of a guar. All right. She made me look like a guar. What do you think? I told Magister Aaron that Ember was trouble the moment she showed up. Trouble, I said. But did he listen? There wouldn't be anything to work out if that careless Khajiit would listen more and mind her elders. She's brash and often quite rude. Why am I standing here talking to you? I'm going back to my kitchen, and I may just have a glass of brandy.
Fish biscuits. That wasn't right. I assume Huldressa is back to her charming self. I've run into a problem. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I've nearly finished my counterspell, but I need to find a tome called The Mirrored Way to complete it. I know Magister Aaron has it, but it's not with the rest of his books. That's the bad news. Because if the Mirrored Way isn't with the rest of his things, it's probably locked away in his arcane library. The library he specifically forbids me from entering. The tome I need has to be in there. Without it, I can't make the counterspell. Magister Aaron has warned me not to enter his library 1,000 times. But these are special circumstances. There will probably be some magical traps inside meant to keep me out. So I'll need your help getting the book while I deal with them. Once we find the Mirrored Way in Magister Aaron's library, I can finish my counterspell. I just hope the old man wasn't serious about putting something dangerous inside to keep me out. He was definitely kidding. Had to be. Come on, let's go. Not sure. I picked the lock on the place as soon as I figured out he didn't want me getting in there. He's since put up protections and told me to stay out unless I have his permission. I'm sure he's got some kind of ward or barrier set up. It wasn't hard. Mages like Magister Aaron tend to think in very magical ways. They'll put magic reinforcements over every inch of a place, but forget a few pins and a good ear can foil them. And to be fair to him, I'm a very good lockpick. Necessity. I wasn't exactly raised in the lap of luxury, not even in the lap of genteel poverty for that matter. You get good at things like that if you don't want to be hungry, or caught by guards or angry merchants. Follow me, the library's downstairs. Give me just a moment to pick the lock. All right, let's get in and out as quick as we can. I don't sense anything. Maybe the old man was bluffing. Fish biscuits!
I warned you, Ember.
This spell is specifically targeting me. I'll figure out a way down. You just focus on getting the book. That's it! You got it! Now, let's get out of here before I set off something else. Magister Aaron really didn't want me getting in there, huh? I have to admire the dedication. I didn't know the old man had it in him. He had something to target me specifically. What a sneaky old goat. Good thing I had you with me. You managed to get the book, right? Let me see it. Let me take a look. No, not that. That would be bad. What about this? Oh, here it is. It's Amahan ist Exis, not Gahan Amexis is. Good thing I checked. See? That's personal growth right there. 2 different arcane glyphs. They do entirely different things when written and pronounced aloud. The second one is what I need for my counterspell. Now, all that's left is to get to the old ritual circle and cast this. I'll need your help again. The counterspell should set everything right in Tordreyak. Things will be just as Magister Irin left them, and I won't have to face his furrowed brow. I'll need your help at the ritual site. Casting a spell this big is a two-person job. The old ritual circle is a place of power, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. I plan to draw on the magic there to help strengthen my counterspell. Magister Irin told me about it. This probably isn't how he wanted to implement the lesson. Maybe? Old tales and myths always start from some truth at some point in time. The moats around here seem to be affected by more than my spell, is all I'm saying. I always expect the worst. I find it helpful. If luck is with us, maybe just some irritated wildlife we can deal with as we've done before. Or some of the bolder moats. But if there is some truth to the ancient tales, then maybe we find some sort of really cranky wind spirit. The ritual circle is just up the hill. I'll meet you there. I'm here. First, we need to set the ritual flames. There's 3 around the site. Light the 3 ritual flames here. I'll get the ones on the altar.
Disturb not my rest, foul creatures.
Almost there. It's done! The spell is set. Follow me. We should be able to see it materialize. Any second now! It worked! We did it! Come on, let's get back to the tower.
To work under these conditions. I was turned into a guar. A guar!
Of course, Huldressa. I promise to address the situation.
See that you do.
Huldressa sold me out, didn't she?
Let me speak to your associate first, Ember. So, you were witness to the events here, and as I understand it, you had a hand in bringing them to an end. For that, I thank you. And if you'll indulge me, I do have a few lingering questions. What in the world happened? I don't know what I expected, leaving her to her own devices here, even temporarily. Ember and Trouble are old friends. I can still feel the repercussions of this spell gone awry, as you say. Do I have you to thank for rectifying it? I see. As trying as she can be, she truly is a talented mage. She can be impatient, but given her natural inclination to magic, it's understandable. I always knew I was perhaps not the best teacher for her. I took her in because I knew I couldn't leave someone as skilled and impulsive as her to her own devices. But I have neither the time nor aptitude to teach her properly. It's my own failing. Speak to her, would you? I must collect my thoughts. Don't worry. Ember isn't in any trouble. While I am not pleased about my traumatized cook, I must concede that everything is back in order and the consequences of Ember's magic weren't dire. Still, I must consider what to do now. I don't mean to give the impression that Ember is incapable of learning. That's not the case. She's a bright mage, one of the brightest I've ever seen. Everything I've taught her she's taken to like flame to parchment. But therein lies the problem. Well, just like a flame, Ember wants to devour everything around her. Her appetite for knowledge is ceaseless. That's good quality in a mage, but not necessarily one I'm equipped to deal with. By my own admission, I'm methodical, cautious, by the books. Exactly right. Ember needs someone who can keep up with her. Someone who thrusts themselves headlong into adventure so that she may temper herself and her magic beside them. Perhaps when I was younger, I could have been that for her, but not now.
Hey, you! Let's talk while Magister Irin collects his thoughts. I thought Magister Irin would be as mad as a wet dragon, but he looks amused. It's probably because he's wanted to turn Huldressa into a Guar at some point. He just won't admit it. And the fact that we fixed it all before he got here helped. Well, I've been thinking. I'm grateful to Magister Irin, but sitting and reading about magic has little appeal to me. This whole thing just proved to me that I'm too restless here. I want to do magic, not just study it. Go on adventures, see things. I think it's time. I've been given good training here, but I still have a lot to learn. For me, the best teachers are curiosity and experience. I learn best by doing, so I need to get out in the world and continue my training. Ember the Sorcerer. I like the sound of that. But that can come later. First, take this. It's not much, but you deserve it. I think we made a good team today. If you ever need a sorcerer who has your back, let me know. We'd have some fun. Magister Irin, I'm grateful for your teachings and your patience. But I think it's time for me to move on.
The world is an excellent teacher for one of your talents, Ember. Do write me occasionally.
I should go pack my things. And say goodbye to Huldressa. Not a chance.